Hello folks, welcome to Outdoors with Bud. I'm your host, Bud Fields. Today, Curtis Bowman, that's my camera dude, he and I are shooting on location about, I'm saying, 9.5 or 10 miles west of Kokomo. We're at basically the Bob Auth's property, and he is one of the coordinators of the Winding Creek Bluegrass Festival. Bob, I want to welcome you to the show. And
thanks, Bud.
We've got another experiment. We've got online via the telephone his partner, Dwayne Davis. Dwayne, can you hear us all right?
Yes, I can hear you fine.
Oh, great. Well, he's in Florida, so he couldn't make the trip back quite today. But Bob, if you would, I'm pretty familiar with the Winding Creek Bluegrass Festival, and I've done a lot of articles for you guys in newspapers when I was writing for the Kokomo Perspective. And now I'm with the Kokomo Lantern, and this is going to be a podcast. It should, hopefully, maybe we could get it on this coming Saturday, if at all possible.
Great.
We want to get it out early enough to let the people that maybe have not been familiar with this to know when it's going to be, where it's going to be, and
okay.
Could you give us a little bit of a history of how the Winding Creek Bluegrass Festival got started?
I'm laughing because Dwayne, he knows how it got started. We went to Jerusalem Ridge.
Jerusalem Ridge, yes, sir.
Down there, the big Bluegrass Festival. and I told Dwayne, I said, Dwayne, we could have one of these festivals. Mm-hmm. He said, yeah, how do you see that? And I said, well, the property's already there from the Kokomo reenactment that was here, and we just got to hire ourselves a band and pick a date. And isn't that kind of the way it went, Dwayne?
Well, that's pretty much it, except I told you, we'll do it in about a year once we get all the information. And he said, no. We'll do it this coming year. So that's what happened.
And that just about put Dwayne over the top.
Well, I'd imagine.
And then we hired a band down there.
We did.
Yeah, so that was the kickoff, and that we did it that fall, and it went off pretty well.
Now, what year was this, the very first one? I know I was here, but when you get up there in age, all the years seem to run together.
Well, it would have been 14 years ago, because this is the 14th.
Mm-hmm.
It would have been 2011.
Yeah.
We knew that, Dwayne. We were just checking on you.
He's pretty sharp for an old codger.
Well, I tell you. Well, I can speak from experience. My wife and I and my father-in-law and mother-in-law used to come out here. We was here to every one but one, and that's when my father-in-law was living with us, and he had a health issue, and sadly he passed away, so we missed that one year. But folks, I mean to tell you, this is one of the best festivals I've ever been to, bar none.
Thanks.
And one thing I want to say too, Bob, share with us just a little bit of information. This is not so much on the festival, but a recent award that you received.
Well, I was honored by being part of the Howard County Legends with the Historical Society, and that honor took place here about 3 months ago. And well, Dwayne came up for that, but he didn't want to come up for your podcast, Bud.
Well, I don't blame him. I mean, but hey, we've been having a lot of fun with it, and I tell you, folks. Bob, let's kind of tell the people what all consists and is going to be available here at the Winding Creek Bluegrass Festival.
Well, first off, Dwayne and I both like to promote camping. The camping's free if you buy your ticket to come into the festival. Mm-hmm. And it is primitive, but it is very nice, and normally the shade comes in nice in the evenings. So it'll be going on this year, August the 15th through the 18th. Mm-hmm. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday will be bluegrass. And then on Sunday, we are doing a benefit day for Turnabout. And they are a group out of Rocheville that helps bridge. They're a bridge to hope and help and healing for people with addictions or people that have any kind of a problem. It doesn't have to be an addiction. It could be, hey, maybe I feel like I could be a better parent.
Oh, fantastic.
They're there to help you and give you guidance on where to go. But that day, we're having a 5-trail run and walk with awards, and we're also having what we're calling a Woods Creek walkabout with live music. we're still going to have 3 bands that are playing at the stage. Plus, we're going to have about 3 to 4 more bands playing on this walkabout down in the shade. Mm-hmm. All in the shade. And it's all going to be, Sunday's going to be geared to the family. Family fun. We're even going to have a maze for the kids. That's a great place for parents to bring their kids and turn them loose in this maze. And there's also going to be a Mrs. Kate here on that Sunday. Mm-hmm. You can tell I'm really pushing Gospel Sunday. You're laughing, Dwayne, now. Well, you old rascal. You know why I'm pushing it. It's an important day, but the most important are Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. We got some great bands scheduled to come, and you can get your tickets online.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got a question to ask you after we do the podcast about that. Because my daughter and my son-in-law is going to be attending, and his birthday is during that weekend, and we want to get our tickets and theirs too.
Okay.
But yeah, folks, I tell you, if you want to talk about addictions, I guess I've got one for bluegrass music and gospel music. And the only way you can ever cure that addiction is to keep coming to these festivals. And that's the sad thing about it, because a lot of people kind of put bluegrass on the back burner. I mean, country western is fine, but I want to tell you something. I've been to, 12 of these programs so far, and I've been to a number of country western festivals. I've been to a couple of rock and roll festivals with the grandkids, and the thing about it is I have never been in the audience and had the program coordinators come down through the crowd and shake everybody's hand and thank them for coming and helping with the promotion and everything. And I guarantee you, when you guys come out here at least once during that weekend, Bob and Dwayne is going to come down, walk right up and down the aisles where you're seated down by the stage. They're going to shake your hand and say thank you for coming here. And to me, that means a whole heck of a lot, because these guys put a lot of effort into this place. They're going to have some great vendors, and if you like food, and who doesn't, if you leave here hungry, it's your fault. Trust me.
Dwayne could probably answer that part on shaking hands. That was his idea from the get-go. Why don't you talk on that one for a minute?
Well, with that, and Bob was right there with me. But actually, I enjoy doing it. We have a good time doing it. And I tell you, we try to shake everybody's hand that's out in the staging area. And but you know what? We Bob and I so much appreciate the fact that people come out, because they don't have to come out. You know, they don't have to be there. They can do something else. But we appreciate the fact that they're there, and we've always said that that we're a family, And I tell you, there's nothing like the bluegrass people. When the day is over, when the festival's over, there's no littering. There's nothing there. If you need help with something, somebody's ready to help you. The people are fantastic. So the fact that we go out and shake their hands is minute, because we just appreciate them so much.
That just tells you how Dwayne is.
I agree with that.
And that's the way I feel too.
I mean, if this would be your first time coming out here, folks, you might feel like a stranger when you first walk down the aisles, but I guarantee you, by the end of the program, when you're leaving, you're feeling like family. I mean, if you have difficulty backing your trailer into a camp spot, I've seen people that didn't even know each other volunteer to go over there and help a guy. One time when we had a rain out here, I remember one guy got stuck. There was 15 people went over to help that guy.
Yeah.
And there's been times that my wife and I would be walking to the stage area or back from the stage area and walk in between the campers, and without knowing who was in that camper, somebody would say, "Hey, bud, you want a cup of coffee?" You bet. I've never turned down a cup of coffee. Or, "Hey, you hungry? Would you like to have a sandwich?" And food, these vendors out here, I mean, just to give you an idea, I mean, who doesn't like cornbread and beans? I mean, you got to be all American. Now you might have to sleep in the truck that night, but you know they got everything. They got all kind of sandwiches.
Or you can join in and jam with the band, and then you know, with your ham and beans.
Yeah. that would be what, the woodwind section.
That'd be the woodwind section, all right.
And another thing they offer here is the workshop. Bob, you want to explain to us about some of the workshops and what can happen?
Well, this year, Bud, we are so excited. We've actually got Nothing Fancy. You know, they're one of the top bands in the country, and they're going to be doing the whole adult workshop on Saturday morning.
Oh man!
First one takes off at 9, and I'm not sure which is which. Banjo first, fiddle, guitar, mandolin. And this year we're going to have actually a voice singing workshop rather than a guitar workshop. But Nothing Fancy is going to do it, and they're great people. And
they've been together about 30-some years now.
They're having their 30-year tour, and we're on it. Well, good old Winding Creek's on their tour. So that workshop, and then a kids workshop, children's. Debbie Lanning, she's here. She's going to be doing the children's workshop with some helpers. And that's a cool thing. If your kid comes and participates in that children's workshop, 12 and under are free anyway, but if they're older, they get the whole weekend no charge.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Because we promote the bluegrass music, and we want kids to learn that.
Well, that's the thing about it, and like we touched on earlier, the whole family can enjoy it.
Yeah.
Now, my wife, she does not play any kind of an instrument, and I make feeble attempts to it, but I love coming out here and listening to this music. Now, when I met my wife, I was not into the bluegrass, and her mom and dad was. And when I got to hearing that music, I thought, how can anybody get into this kind of stuff? Well, I was playing like a Fender or Gibson Electric with a big amplifier and reverb on it. I ended up selling all my electronic stuff and started playing acoustic guitar. And now that's the only thing my truck's got. I mean, like the Bluegrass Junction and all that. And my son one time borrowed my truck, and he said, "Dad, is that the only kind of music that radio plays?" I said, "And it better stay that way." Well, he was into the rap and all that, and he never touched my truck since. But man, it's unbelievable, the people that will bend over backwards to help you out here. And if you're handicapped or have any kind of issue, there's people that's got golf carts out here. They will get you and help you get around.
You know, I'd like to say something here too. Dwayne and I, even through the COVID, have not raised prices. We keep our prices down to where it's affordable. There are some people that thinks it's a little expensive, but where can you go and hear such a gathering of music? Let's say Saturday, it is $25, but my goodness, I go down and pay $15 to watch my granddaughter play one game of basketball.
Right, exactly.
And here you're going to come and get all this great entertainment, and you're even going to get to hear people pick and playing on the cabin porch right here where we're at today.
Right.
And so it's a great time coming, August the 15th through the 18th.
Well, there'll be instances when, like, I would sit all day down there at the stage area, listen to them play, then they'll have a little lunch break, then they're right back at it again. But a lot of times the people will get around their campers, a little campfire going, and they'll get together and they'll do a little jamming, picking and grinning. And you might be standing there playing, and there's no way I would get up on the stage and try to compete with these professionals. But there was times years ago we'd be around a campfire playing, and you look over, and right next to you is one of the people that you had been watching on the stage. And it's just like, well, the one guy asked me, he said, "How long have you had your Martin guitar?" Well, my guitar was not a Martin. It was the one that Dick made.
Dick Baker,
Dick Baker, my father-in-law, was making them as a hobbyist, and but it was all Martin parts, and he put it together. But nobody, I have never heard anybody out here say a bad word about that guy over there. He can't play. He can't make a chord. Well, like I told you earlier, I said I play a lot of guitar picking like Merle. What was his name? Mel Tillis. I said I stutter when I pick. And it seemed like my father-in-law, when he built my guitar, he left a lot of oopses in it.
He left them in there just for you.
He left
Dick.
them in there just
for
me.
you, bud.
But they always say you don't want to imitate somebody, you want to be yourself. Well, I don't think anybody's going to want to pick like me. But it's such a fun time, folks. Golly, if I could, I mean, like Bob was saying, you get free camping. You pay to get in here, you can camp, it's not going to cost you nothing.
Right.
I have never been to another festival that once I paid to get in, I still had to pay for my camping. I still had to pay for this. I still had to pay for that, and it got quite pricey.
We our best year has been 70 RV campers and 50 tent campers. And let me tell you, you guys can see the shade coming out here right now. You know, if people can get out here and get in this line, the shade gets in there quick. And, you know, Randy and Raylene, they're our camp host, and they'll get you situated. And if you're a tent camper, tent camping is extraordinarily the best. You're all in the shade. It's beautiful. The grounds, the creek flowing through it. You can take a walk. It just doesn't. It's just a beautiful place to spend a long weekend. Good catch, Bud. I'm telling you, Bud, you're fast.
I just washed my hands and I can't do a thing with them, you know. But one thing I always got to doing, like during the lunch break, I was walking through the parking lot and I'd take a pencil and a paper with me, and I got to writing down where the different states were that was coming to this. Of course, we had Indiana covered, but folks, they've got a parking facility out there. And they got lights strung out there, so you don't have to worry about somebody banging into your vehicle. And golly, I was writing down, I think one time I had some people from like Colorado. Of course, we've got them from Tennessee, Kentucky, Ohio, Illinois, and there was,
Arizona. We've had them from Arizona.
where were the people? It was from out of the country one year. It was
Tahiti.
Yeah, Haiti.
Haiti, yeah.
Is that where? No,
Tahiti.
Tahiti. It was Tahiti. The Froggy Mountain Boys.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was talking to them, and I asked him, I said, well, how did you guys get here? And he said, well, we were fine once we was able to pull up on the beach. You know, they were driving their motor home across the ocean, you know. Yeah. But, man, I tell you, folks, and they've got vendors here. Let's say maybe you need some guitar strings or some for your, a lot of people will call it a violin. Us common people call them fiddles.
Fiddles.
And that's when they sound better. When you can play a violin, okay, but you play a fiddle, it sounds a lot better. The same song.
Yeah.
But if you need anything like that, tuning keys, there's vendors out here that sells products like that, capos, guitar picks, my lands. And there's one group comes in from Ohio.
Yeah.
And okay.
New Outlook.
New Outlook, yeah.
Yep.
The man, he is a luthier. He's an excellent technician working on instruments. And I've seen some instruments that was brought to him that looked like a jigsaw puzzle.
Yeah.
And when he was done with it,
Brad Lambert's
Brad
his name.
Lambert.
Yeah.
And this guy is tough. If you need anything on your instrument, he might not be able to work on it and fix it here, but it depends on what you need. But I guarantee you, if he does anything for you, when you get it back, you're going to think it's great. But yeah, that's phenomenal. My lands, I can go on and on and on, and I almost feel like I got to be here every year now I've got going because I don't want to miss it.
One of the key things here is shade. We got shade and lots of it. And, you know, shade is here and it's free.
Yeah.
All you got to do is bring your lawn chair, folks. Bring your lawn chair. That's all it takes.
And if you like homemade ice cream, which who doesn't?
Oh, boy.
They've got some of that here. And I know my diet takes a beating on that weekend.
Our band Medicinal Bluegrass, we just played for the Carroll County Tractor Club that makes the ice cream over at the Carroll County Fair last night. And their ice cream is just as good this year as it was last year.
Land. Well, it never spoils.
Never spoils.
Yeah.
But
They have a hard time putting it in the microwave, but you know it's phenomenal. But like I say, there's all kind of food vendors here. Golly, I know a couple of years ago, my wife bought some knives off of the Cutco ladies down there.
And they're coming back this year. Cutco will be here.
And there's going to be a lot of local talent here too, folks. A lot of these big bands, I mean, they're phenomenal. And I've never had a complaint at all when I was out here, other than I wish It was longer.
Hey, Dwayne, how'd you like that Baker family last year? What did they do that was pretty extraordinary?
Oh, they were fantastic. They really were. And that's a group you just do not want to miss.
Yeah, you remember when the bass player got up on that bass and balanced on it and played it?
Yeah.
And his fiddling brother,
Yeah.
he got on there and he started doing all those bird calls. He must have done 20 bird calls, and you would have thought, the way you are, Bud, with your nature, you would have thought those birds were right there on the stage.
Yeah.
And their sister is a great mandolin player, and
They're multi-talented. They were
They
switching
are.
instruments.
they'll be here Thursday and Friday this year,
Right.
on the 15th and 16th. So,
Well, see, my wife was a former baker, and I said, well, how come you never learned how to do that? Well, three days later, after the swelling on my eye went down,
is that what happened? I thought you fell down.
well, I got hit by a guided muscle.
Guided muscle.
She said, shut up, and I thought she said, stand up. But hey, folks, if there's any way that you can make it, golly, come out here and help promote this. I guarantee you're going to have a good time. And I did get to fulfill my bucket list. I told Bob about this earlier. One of the groups that was coming in from out of town or out of state, they couldn't find it. Well, I was up there talking to somebody when the phone call come in, and I couldn't tell them the road numbers. I said, but I know where you're at. You stay there. I'll come get you. I drove and brought the people back. As we got here, we went down by the stage area, and I was helping them carry their instruments on stage. And I turned around and I looked at all them people. I thought, I finally got to appear on stage at the Winding Creek Bluegrass
It
Festival.
finally happened. You know, if you go to www.windingcreekmusicfestival.com, you can go online and get tickets. You can find all the information on the bands. You can get the schedule. You can even get the directions to the festival.
Yeah.
Everything is right there, and we are excited about this year.
And the tickets are discounted online. too.
Right now, they're discounted, yeah.
Okay.
Until, I believe, when are we shutting that off, Dwayne? Is that on Tuesday night or Wednesday?
I was thinking it was Tuesday.
Yeah, we want to, so if you really want to save some money, get online and buy your tickets. Or there's an address, you can send a check. It needs to be postmarked. And you need to get the check here early, because you know how slow the mail is these days, folks. It's almost...
Tuesday before the festival.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, it needs to be here by Tuesday before the festival. Yes.
Well, they're raising the price of the stamp, so it must be getting faster now.
Yeah, and I'd like to say, you know how the restaurants add the extra money on when you use your card?
Yeah.
Dwayne and I, we absorb that because we think it's an insult to do that. So, you know, you use your card, you're not going to have to pay that extra fee. Dwayne and I are tickled to take that fee on, and we just want you to tell your friends about Winding Creek Music Festival. It's a great time.
All righty. Well, hey, folks, we're going to kind of put the cap on this, but like I say, look forward to seeing you guys out here. I guarantee you I'm going to be out here, and I guarantee you I'm not going to be doing any playing or singing, so everybody's going to have a good time. And if you don't, I might get up there and sing just a... Oh, no way. But hey, I want to thank you guys for tuning in, and hope to see you out here. And Dwayne, Bob, I want to thank you guys for letting us come out here and spend some time with you.
And our sound man, tech man here, appreciate you being here, and we look forward to seeing everybody and shaking your hands. Be part of the Winding Creek family, friends.
Okay, folks, thanks a lot. We'll see you again. God bless you.
We appreciate it. Thank you.